Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with the next update for my project Level Up. This is a project that I have done for the last couple of years, and it's actually one that I created myself. It has definitely taken off a little bit in the Pan community. I'm really happy every time I see a project Level Up video pop up with new people joining, because it's so much fun and I'm glad that other people are enjoying it too. I do have a whole intro video and a playlist with everyone else who's doing this video or this project, so I'll have the link down below. But just to give you a quick recap of the project, you take a palette. So currently I'm working on the Red Dragon palette from Odin's Eye, and for each level your goal is to use each shade and hit a certain amount of pans. So for level 1 that would be 1 use each and 1 pan. For level 2 it would be 2 uses each and 2 pans, and so on. And then when you get to level 5 you have an option to either reset it back to level 1, or you can continue past that if you rather wish to do that. So I'm actually on level 2 right now, so this is my level 2 palette. So I'm going to talk you through where I'm sitting with this palette today. But before I do that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. Alright, so like I said, I am currently working on my level 2, and that is this palette right here, which is from Odin's Eye. This is the Red Dragon palette, which was in collaboration with Judy, and it is a 12 pan palette. So my goal with this palette is to, of course, reach for every single shade twice and hit 2 new pans. I'm going to roll the footage of what this one looked like when I rolled it in, which was last month. I already had 3 pans in this palette, so it was already pretty well loved, I would say. But it's also a palette that I haven't used too much as like a whole. I have had those eyeshadows in product pans, but as a whole I was really excited to get to know it better, even though I don't really see this one as like a spring tone palette, but I definitely made it work. And this is where it's sitting today, so hopefully you can see some differences there. I'm of course going to talk you through each shade in order, but this is what the view looks like. I am really happy with the progress and I'm excited to share with you too. Alright, so this is the palette now, and that is the overview of it, as you can see. I will also of course have the comparison up there so you can see. It is easier as well because this palette is a little bit awkward to hold the right way around just because of how the mirror is, but I'll have the palette up there as well. So I'm going to start off with the first shade, go through each one in order and talk you through my amount of uses. So we're starting off with the first row, and first up we have the shade Sunrise, which is this very light type of mustardy brown type of shade. It's really stunning. It's a beautiful shade, although again it is more kind of summer autumnal to me than spring tone, but that's okay. I was able to reach for this one twice, so I did hit my usage goal on this one. Then next to that we have the shade Solar Flare, which is actually one of the shades that I wanted to focus in on to hit pan, and as you will be able to see right there, I was able to do that. I'm very excited with that pan. So this one took me 9 uses to hit pan on, so you know, a decent amount of time, and I did have some uses on this one tracked from last year too, I think 1 or 2, which I have rolled over to like the total amount of uses, but in this project it took me 9 uses to hit pan on it. So that is my first pan, it's actually my second pan. It's the most recent one that I hit that one yesterday, which I'm very excited for. So that one I have hit my goal on, and of course I have also completed the usage goal. Then next to that we have the shade Claw, which is a dark brown. This is like a quite interesting undertone. It's not like that warm. Well, it's warm, but it's not like a reddish warm. It's more again like that kind of mustardy undertone warm. It's super pretty. Again, I didn't focus on it though, so I only reached for it twice, but I have hit my usage goal. Then moving on to the second row, we have my second pan, and that is in this shade right here called Overheat. That is the first shade that I hit pan on in this palette, so that also means that I have hit my 2 goals, which is super exciting. Of course, I'm gonna have to talk you through every other shade and let you know if I hit the usage goal or not, but I have completed my 2 pans. So this one actually also took me 9 uses to hit pan on, exactly the same as Solar Flare. So these 2 both took me 9 uses. Again, I do have a couple uses rolling over, of course, from last year, and I have used this palette before that too. I only started tracking my uses last year, which is why I'm including them. So if you want to see the total amount of uses it took to hit pan on these 2 shades, you can see my next, or all my all the pans I hit and I should have finished updates where I talk about these 2. I hit this one actually in quarter 1, but this one I hit in quarter 2, so we'll talk about that one next update. But I have hit my usage goal on that one too, of course. So that is the next completed shade. Then we have this matte green right here called Jade. That one I actually reached for 3 times, so one more than I had to, but it worked really nicely with that green and some other shades that I'm panning, so I reached for that one 3 times. And then for the rest of the palette, I'm actually not going to talk you through each one because the rest of them, which is Luna, Amber, Yin, Serene, Fire, Aura, and Dragon, I actually reached for 2 times each. So the rest of the palette I have reached for exactly the 2 times, which means that I have also completed my usage goal on this, and that means I'm going to level up. I did actually complete this one today. I did reach for 2 of the shades today in this look. I had 2 shades that I hadn't hit my usage goal on, and that was this shade right here and this shade. So these 2 I used in this look. I used that matte on my outer corner and blended up. I used a lighter shade to blend it into my crease, and then the shimmer shade I also used on the outer kind of half of my lid, outer corner of my lid. So that is how I used those 2 today, and that is also how I completed them. And yeah, I'm really excited. I knew I was going to hit my goal on this one this morning because I knew I could incorporate those 2 into a look really easily. So I decided to sit down and film this update. But that is my level 2 palette. It is now completed. The next thing to do is, of course, to roll in the next palette, which will be level 3. I'm very excited, slightly nervous about what I'm going to roll in. So I'm going to pull up my Tile Decisions app with all my palettes, and we could go ahead and roll a new one to work on. So here we have my wheel, and as you can see, some of them are blacked out. Those are the palettes that I worked on this year so far, as well as last year. I decided to not include the ones I worked on last year, just because I do want to give other palettes an opportunity to be rolled into this project. I do have some eyeshadow palettes in here that would be really fun, some would be quite hard. I do also have 3 vetoes in the year, so if I roll something I really don't want to work on, I am allowed to veto it. But hopefully I can roll something that I can work on, but I am a little bit nervous. Let's see what I get. The Paris Edit palette, oh my goodness, that's going to be so difficult to pan on. Oh, that is hard. Do I want to do that or not? Let me get it and I'll show you the palette. So this is the palette right here. This is the Viseart Paris Edit palette. The reason why I'm saying this is going to be really hard is because the formula in here is quite difficult for the mattes, especially to pan on. I think I haven't pan on any Viseart palette before, so it feels a little bit intimidating to me. But I might be able to do it. It's also a little bit more winter to spring. This is definitely a palette that I would have preferred to have in like February, March time. But I guess I could work on it. I mean, I could hit pan on some of these shimmers for sure. I think I could use this one as an Icona highlight, and this shimmer, for example, are very stunning. So I could work on those. But it would be boring to use each for 3 shimmers, maybe. I don't know about the mattes though, if I could do that. This one is definitely a hard one. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to do. I wish I could ask you so you can let me know what you think. Part of me is also like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to pan on this palette because the shadow's so good to travel with. But I can't just let it sit there, can I? My gut feeling is saying I should roll it in, but I'm also very scared for it. Oh, it's so hard. I don't know what to do. It's also a 12 pan palette, by the way. And let me check how deep these pans are. They do pop out of this. Alright, so looking at the pans, they're like not that thick. So I guess I could do it. I don't think they would be like, I mean, obviously it's a hard formula to pan on, but I don't think it would be like impossible to pan on. Maybe I should just do it because I feel like I need to give this palette more love. So I'm very, very intimidated by it, but I am going to go ahead and roll this one in. This again is my Viseart Paris Edit palette, and this is going to be my level 3. So I have to hit 3 pans. I used every single shade in here 3 times. I do think I'm going to put in my rule, which I've had for a few difficult palettes, that if I don't hit pan within 30 uses, I will like count that as gold hit. I've done that only on my Natasha Nona palettes. Did I pat my graph as well? yeah, like those type of palettes I have done that in the past. Hopefully I will be able to pan within 30 uses, but if I don't, I feel like I will count that as a gold hit. So yes, that is going to be my level 3 palette. I am very intimidated. I never hit pan again on anything Viseart, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. It's going to be definitely something new for me, but I am excited. So with that, I am gonna wrap up my update. Let me know how long you guys is gonna, like, you think it's gonna take to pan on this, like 3 pans and use everything in the shade 3 times. I do think this one might take 2 months to do for sure, depending on what I focus on to pan on, but I'll just see. I'm gonna have to swatch this out next to everything else I'm panning and see what works, what is too similar to other things, like, you know, some of these more like kind of neutral browns like this one and the dark brown here are way too similar to my Pan palette, same as this one here, to be fair, I think, unless that one is slightly deeper, I don't know. So I mean, the shimmers are probably the ones that I'm going to focus on, but it would be nice to focus on at least one of the mattes too. But again, I'm not going to commit to anything. I'm just going to see how I get on with this palette because it's a little bit more of a difficult one, and we'll take it from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Again, if you have any experience with hitting pan on Viseart, how long did it take you? Yeah, I'm a little bit scared, but I am sure I can do it. So that is going to be it for today. I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.